Elephant refuses to leave tree. When Ranger climbs up and sees this, he calls for backup. An elephant, unyielding and vigilant beside a towering tree, drew the perplexed gaze of Ranger Theo, who had never witnessed such peculiar behavior in his years of service. But before we start, smash the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our upcoming stories. Ranger Theo was driving around the nature reserve, counting all the animals, when he noticed something strange in the distance. At first, he thought he was looking at a giant bird, but as he grabbed his binoculars and looked again, he realized it was something entirely different. His eyes widened as he realized one of the baby elephants was sitting high up in a tree. Followed the tree down to the ground and saw a group of elephants desperately trying to reach the baby elephant with their trunks, but none of them could reach it. Ranger Theo knew he had to act fast. He started his Jeep and quickly drove closer to the tree. He had to make sure none of the adult elephants saw him, as they were already very stressed out. So he drove closer and closer and parked his Jeep behind a bush. He looked at the baby elephant again through his binoculars and noticed how still it was sitting. Ranger Theo knew he had to do something. The other elephants surrounding the tree made it impossible for him to come any closer. He had to think of a plan to lure them away. He decided to wait until nightfall. In the dark, their vision is restricted, so that would be the perfect time to sneak closer. He waited in his Jeep and observed the elephants until the sun began to set. Their interest in the baby increased with every minute, as a mother elephant would never leave her child behind. Eventually, the elephant seemed to lose all interest. The mother elephant has no other choice. Theo sighed as he realized he could be too late now. As he stood at the bottom of the tree and looked up, he noticed how high the baby elephant actually was. He decided there was no time to lose and began to climb up the tree. Or at least he tried, because his hands kept slipping away. After falling to the ground 2 or 3 times, he thought of something else. He quietly ran to his Jeep and drove it slowly toward the tree while keeping the lights off. Once at the bottom of the tree again, Ranger Theo turned off the car and climbed on top of its roof. He suddenly had another idea. In his trunk, he had a hammer and some nails. He quickly grabbed them all and hit one nail in the side of the tree. He hit the nail as soft as possible, trying not to scare the calf. His plan seemed to work, and the calf was still sitting quietly in its spot. Ranger Theo wondered if it had fallen asleep. He hit a total of 10 nails in the tree. He was almost at the calf when he looked down at his car beneath him, which wasn't such a good idea, as Ranger Theo quickly remembered he had a fear of heights. But now that he knew how high off the ground he was, he suddenly became a little dizzy. His heart drummed in his chest. The gentle hum of the wilderness below was drowned by the throbbing in his ears. But Theo was determined to save the calf, its eyes wide with fright. That look, that innocent plea for help, drove Theo forward. Images from the past flitted through Theo's mind. Intense training sessions under the sun, seasoned instructors sharing life-saving techniques, and nights spent by the campfire. Those lessons weren't just stories. They were vital tools. It's all right. We're in this together. He could feel the rope's texture beneath his gloves. Slowly, methodically, Theo began his approach. He was getting closer, both to the calf and to conquering his deepest fears. Gripping the calf's surroundings with one hand, Theo fumbled for his radio with the other. "This is Ranger Theo. I need immediate assistance." Each passing second felt heavy. Weighed down by the thick canopy of leaves overhead, suddenly a burst of static cut through the silence, making Theo's heart leap. "Copy, Ranger, coming your way." Drawing a deep breath and began detailing the situation. "We'll need a crane or at least a long ladder." As darkness deepened, a soft hum grew louder, gradually breaking the forest's serenity. Theo squinted, scanning the dim horizon. Help was finally at hand. As he anticipated the arrival of his comrades in arms from the ranger team, their presence reignited his fading hope and boosted his confidence for the mission. "We have a plan, Theo!" one ranger shouted. Moments later, the silhouette of specialized equipment became discernible. Winches, pulleys, and sturdy ropes, the rangers worked with precision. Communication was key, with each member playing a crucial role. From the ground, a ranger emerged, brandishing a tranquilizer gun with a sizable dart, alongside a heavy-duty rope coiled and ready. Tranquilizing a young, frightened creature went against Theo's every instinct. Finally, he signaled his agreement. The dart's trajectory was true, and within moments the calf's movements began to slow. Using the tree for support, Theo reached out and began to wind the rope around the drowsy calf. The initial stages of the descent went smoothly. There was something about the calf's weight, its texture, the faint sound it made. Doubt clouded Theo's thoughts. Was there more to this situation than met the eye? The thick canopy of the forest posed a myriad of challenges. The rangers below positioned themselves, ready to guide the landing. The calf's feet gently touched the ground. Theo scrutinized its every move. But this calf, it was an enigma unlike any Theo had encountered. The way the calf's skin felt, the subtle sounds it made, what was the story behind this creature? Yet amidst his rising questions, a bond seemed to form. The calf leaned slightly towards him, radiating an almost therapeutic warmth. Despite the shared serenity, Theo's instincts were on high alert. He'd been a ranger long enough to know when something was amiss. He braced himself for whatever revelation lay ahead. As his hands glided over the creature, searching for potential injuries, he encountered an unexpected bump. Upon closer inspection, he discovered a zipper hidden among the creature's skin. Theo caught the attention of Martin, a ranger he deeply respected and had often turned to for guidance. Pulling him aside and speaking in soft, urgent tones, he shared his bewildering discovery. Martin carefully examined the zipper for himself. The two shared an intense moment. Their chatter, previously filled with relief and camaraderie, became a series of whispered exchanges, their trained eyes noticing a detail so out of place in the wild expanse of the savannah. The zipper was now the center of their focus. The very existence of such a feature on a wild animal was inconceivable. The realization dawned on them that they were possibly dealing with a very different kind of situation. The team decided to uncover the mystery, gently gripping the zipper's tab, slowly revealing what lay beneath. Instead of the anatomy of an elephant calf, they saw the familiar contours of human limbs, and a human figure emerged from the disguise. There was a man. His face, flushed from the confines of the suit, looked up at the rangers with a mix of relief and embarrassment. Alex, known in the community as a dedicated wildlife researcher, had clearly found himself in a most precarious situation. The night's rescue mission had just taken an unexpected turn. Alex began to speak, his voice slightly raspy from dehydration and exhaustion. He delved into his past, the initial excitement of being selected for a covert observation mission, and the extensive preparation that went into it. The suit, he explained, was a masterful creation meant to mimic a young elephant, allowing him unprecedented access to the inner workings of a herd. Alex's objective was simple in theory, but challenging in execution: to observe the dynamics of elephant herds without disturbing their natural behavior. The suit ensured he blended in. However, the wild is unpredictable. One day, he found himself separated from the herd he was shadowing and trapped high above the ground, vulnerable and disoriented. An unexpected encounter with a rival elephant herd and a river's fast current had forced him to seek refuge in the trees, and the suit became more of a trap than a shield. It wasn't just about observation. Behind this mission was a larger goal: to understand elephant behavior deeply, to aid in their conservation. The suit was an unconventional method, yes, but born out of desperation to make a real difference. In the dim light of their camp, the rangers huddled together, discussing Alex's revelation. They weighed the importance of maintaining the reserve's integrity against the larger canvas of animal conservation. They needed to ensure the park's safety while respecting genuine research efforts. The devastating effects of poaching, habitat loss, and human encroachment on elephant populations were all too familiar to them. Alex would be allowed to continue his research, but with certain conditions. The relationship was delicate, built on trust and understanding in their shared goal of conservation. A new dawn brought with it the potential for a fruitful collaboration grounded in trust and mutual respect. Thanks for watching! If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another video.